Okay.
The pain and all the hardships. We focus on our game and kept the targets. They try to take our brain and keep our rockets. But we still remaining, now we want shit. Flawless, you know how it goes. Black power looking good, we let it go. We let about an hour, yeah, we let it grow. The track is not doing nothing, we let them know. Nothing you can do, gon' change us. We always gon' be around, we gon' bang you up. We never gon' simmer down, you can't tame us. No religion, no criticism can chain us. Black is only here when I'm talking. I'm looking for the light to the dark skin. RBG stepping when I'm walking. Black is only mad cause I'm flossing. Black is all you see around me. I put my hands in these hearts in the streets, getting it on me.
Same script, hopping off the same shit. Ever since they got me off the slave ship.
Black is all you see around me. I put my hands in these hearts in these streets, getting it on me.
Hopping with the same script, hopping off the same shit. Ever since they got me off the slave ship.
Watch the step out, a black king. My fist in the air while I'm rapping. RBG where you see my fashion. My family's all here, no lacking. You see the vision, it's all clear. Black power living here with no fear. We did the prisons, we got the tears. Now we're focused on this eyepiece. RBG, yeah, on the pop out. A cracker go to sleep, that's a knockout. What you want, eat, go on, rock out. Black everything, it's a lockout. The camera's on now, go and take a flick. The pressure been on, can't take a hit. Ever since they dropped me off the slave ship, I've been on the same shit. Black is all you see around me. I put my hands in these hearts in the streets, getting it on me.
Hopping with the same script, hopping off the same shit. Ever since they dropped me off the slave ship.
Black is all you see around me. I put my hands in these hearts in these streets, getting it on me.
Hopping with the same script, hopping off the same shit. Ever since they dropped me off the slave ship.
We go like this. Yeah, that's it. Come on, man. Show me.
I'll show my song.
Come on, become. It's in your head. It's always in your brain. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out, my brother. Let's stop sharing the screen.
Powerful.
Let's get it. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope, man. That's my brother, man. Q Butter, Black Lean music video. Go check it out. YouTube, wherever you get your music at, man. That's dope. Hey, but listen, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Mr. McGee Show, man. This your boy. This your one and only homie, the host with the most, man, Mr. McGee. I have my beautiful sister in the house. Talk to him, sis.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Cola E, the Great in the house. Here doing an interview with Mr. Q Butter for today. We got some real interesting things that we're going to speak about. He has I'll let him talk.
There you go, man. Talk to people, Q. Tell them a little bit about yourself, my brother.
And what you doing.
Q Butter, I do a lot. I need to do more. I built an institute in Brooklyn. We don't say school. We built an institute in Brooklyn. Black children, they were way over 100 students now. We're in that area because of COVID. The attendance got kind of thrown off. It's challenging, but we have about that many students in it, and we're looking to expand into different cities. And we have children all over the country. We have children actually in Canada also. We have a student in Ghana right now, and like I said, we're looking to expand it into other cities. I just contacted you earlier this week about building up a spot in Nashville.
Yep.
So wherever we set up, that's what we're looking to do.
Okay, and this is all online.
Well, we have a physical location. Our Brooklyn headquarters is we got our music studios downstairs and t-shirt printing, and upstairs we have our institute, and it's 5 different rooms. And usually there's about 40, 50 kids that is in this location.
Okay, so that's your physical location, but when you're talking about students in Canada and Ghana,
They're
and
on-
those are online.
correct.
Right. Okay. Yeah, the internet is so magnificent now. You can reach all across the world, doing what you're doing.
And we were doing this way before COVID. We had almost 60 children online before COVID. So
Okay.
that just, so it really wasn't difficult for us to transition. It was more the Brooklyn students had to get, acclimated to, using the internet on that level. And it was cool because we was able to get the computers for them. Same way the Board of Ed was able to get computers. We got computers for most of our students. And as we raised,
You financially provided the computers.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we provided the computers. People donated. I got a dope connect where I could get computers from. Cal, I think Cal remembers when I bought my computers from my man in Harlem. Got the African Connect, so I can always get computers for a good price.
Okay, that's big business. First tell us what this school is about and what it details.
It's about Black empowerment. It's one of our centerpieces towards developing our community. When I first met Cal, I was doing financial literacy, and I still feel about financial literacy, but that still falls underneath the category of education. And for me, education is the foundation to which all of the other components that we need to develop in our community are built on. If we want to develop the Black banks need strong Black businesses. In order to have strong Black businesses, people need to be educated about the different avenues they can take towards to be successful in business versus just doing the nail salons or the music studios or the food spot restaurants. For us to be able to reach into other avenues, that requires education.
So have you heard of this well, it's not necessarily a trend, but I've heard a lot from the young people that I talked to lately that, well, I don't need an education. Bill Gates did this and such, and they're naming all of these millionaires that never graduated from school or halfway went to school, and just talking about how they made their millions and saying that they don't need it because these other people didn't take that route. What do you think about that? And have you heard that?
Well,
Have you heard a lot of young people say that?
that I think they get education mixed up with a degree.
Yeah.
You got to be educated. That's that you have to be educated. You can't get across anywhere in life without that. If you want to tie your shoes, you want to handle your business, you want to anything you want to do in life, you have to be educated. That's just part of life. Unfortunately, like I said, people have been marketed and told that you want to be educated, you got to go to school. When my father told me you want to be educated, go read a book, go to the library. You want to be a professional, find someone in that field, and become their apprentice.
Yes.
And for me, I want to, my challenge is to implement those type of strategies into our institute. We have 6 students. Last year we had this is our second year, and we went from 20 kids. From when everybody first met, it was just my kids and a couple other ones from my homeschool, to 20 to 100 students, and now we have a graduating class of students who they're about to hit the world. And my goal is to be able to say within a year, they represent at least $250,000 annually being
Wow.
to our community. So it's look, and I'm look, if you got to drive Uber, you got to start your own business, you got to sell hair, you go to school, you become an electrician, you become whatever it is you got to get towards. But within 1 year, you got to be at $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I'm look, you become a truck driver. You get your food handling, your OSHA license, OSHA certificates, and certain other type of training. You can walk into certain forms of employment and be making this so much money. And they still live at home.
Yeah.
And so if you look at it, and I had to tell them, look, most of your parents work state jobs. And out of our parents in our institute, the most stable typically have jobs within the state. Bus drivers, MTA workers, some type of medical workers. Those jobs, other type of state jobs, like the Department of Transportation. In New York, a lot of us, my Black folks, is in the Department of Transportation. Corrections. We don't really get that audience of children. And with parents who are in that mix, I had to tell the children, look, most of your parents became professionals around 28 years old.
Yeah.
Mm,
That means they didn't start making their real money until about 36.
Right.
correct.
And so if you got the same job as them at 19, you would be making the same amount of money as your parents at 19, 18. And so I know I was having this conversation. The woman who works at the post office who delivers our mail came, and I told her, I'm like, look, I said, the woman who y'all see deliver my mail all the time, and I'm running to get my Amazon packages. And I asked her, I said, when did you start the post office? I said, first, how old are you? How long have you been with the post office? She said, 20 years, 25 years. I'm 55. And I'm like, wow, you're working COVID every day, post office, 55 years old.
Yeah.
She has to be making at least 80,000 a year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She started at 30. She could have been a thought, bird, derelict. She could have been doing porn before that. You know what I mean? Nobody knows. Who cares? She delivers mail now.
Yeah.
But when I tell the children, I'm like, look, let's not outlook where we are. You know, I want to shoot for the stars, but right now it's about building up strategically. You know, if we can get these 6 children to be doing 50,000 a year within 1 year, so by 18, by 19 years old, they're doing 50,000. 3 years, they got a specific degree that's aligned to them making specific money.
Yeah.
I promote STEM. Let's push you with STEM. This year, we're trying to align ourselves with several unions. And so that way the students can be prepped here into what they need to do to be successful within that union. Whether it's the electrical union, it could be building operators union, it could be building maintenance unions, any of these different spaces, even down to the nurses unions.
So when you say STEM, what does STEM? I know it's an acronym. What does it stand for, my brother?
My bad. They'll get rocking with the music.
No, it's okay.
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics.
Okay. Okay. So you do STEAM. You don't deal with the arts.
Art is everything. It's perspective.
Yeah.
Could you explain that in detail?
The way we teach, and our program is African centered and STEM based. The way I teach is that the idea of STEM is to create things. Keyword: create.
There we go.
That's it. That's right.
Create things that make life easier. That's the purpose of engineering. Let's make this bridge so we can get to the other side easier. Let's make
That's
it.
right.
Let's make this house that can actually deal with these different weathers. Let's make these materials we can wear. And so everything I just said is a form of art. Architecture. You have fabric design, fabrication. The Black woman's hands have the most precise and delicate hands needed or used for refined tooling. And that developed over thousands of years of microbraiding. And without microbraiding, fabrication would have never taken its stance. Without fabrication, we wouldn't be, that's art in itself.
Right.
The elements of any aspect of life in which you create and you articulate your designs specifically for other people to be able to emulate, you need mathematics. And so when I teach, I'm like, look, that's how mathematics came about. Mathematics is a result of language and the need to communicate quantitative information. I have this many cups. You have this many rocks. You have this many pieces. How do you get this far over there? And so my theory and the way I have to promote mathematics is to teach children the need for science. And then the language of science is mathematics. The language of STEM is mathematics. And, New York City has already done this. New York City is promoting, and they removed what people consider like basic art from the curriculum, and they rewrote everything to STEM in New York. And so every student has to be pushed into STEM.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Do you think that's what we're lacking with our kids? STEM, science, math, all the other creative factors that you just mentioned.
STEM isn't everything. We wouldn't be able to have this conversation if it wasn't for somebody who coded this program.
Of course, yeah.
Cameras we're using, the technology, all of this is a result of STEM. We set the precursors in America for that. Where a lot of the scientific ingenuity, the scientific developments and the ideas that were developed in America, well, a lot of them we helped create or created. And for example, like when I told my daughter, I'm like, look, the hot comb, rock, the same engineering premises that go into making the hot comb, going to making a toaster, going to making a heater. We made all of those.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And if we look at who we buy those products from now, and when you think about making America great, it was our elevators that made skyscrapers possible. You see what I mean? You think about that.
Yeah, it's true.
You see what I mean? Like it was our automatic transmission that made all of these cars possible. It was our two-stroke engine. It was our door lock that made people safe. And so when we look at the removal of STEM, you look at a people that's now subjugated to slavery. And America and the world has been put underneath, they're slaves to China right now.
Yep.
Everything in is from China. And so if we want that power back, STEM is that tool. And that's why I believe New York has kicked everything out the way. And they're like, look, STEM everything. Because they want to be able to say, if you look at the top 20 jobs or fields of employment or money in the world, out of the 20 of them, 18 are STEM based.
Yeah, it's true.
Out of the top businesses that forget old American money, slave money, bank money, all of that money don't got nothing on STEM money. Amazon, you see what I mean? Google, Macintosh, they laugh at that money. Facebook, they laugh at old money. They're like, old money, bro, you ain't got none on these computers.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be slaves to it, always left to be corporate, batteries, or we're going to resurge ourselves as competitors in this community.
Absolutely. And creators. So that's what I love what you're doing, because you're raising these young black brothers and sisters up to be creators. Like, let's get our piece of the pie. Like, let's own shit. And I think we're at the time now where we can no longer let other people take credit and take advantage of our ideas and our movements, bro. And that's why I think that you're a big part of the community. So what I want to do, Q, is I want to touch a little bit on this COVID shit, man. Like, right now, the world is on, we're at a standstill right now. They said it's a virus out here. This, like I always say, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the God concept, but that's another conversation for another day. But what do you think about this virus, man? About this whole coronavirus, COVID? What's your overall thoughts on this, man?
Before us, let me just make sure. Let me pull up the right facts.
Let's get it. Yeah, I want to know, man, because we in Tennessee, man. We're hearing that this bodies piling up in New York.
Yep,
definitely a lie.
Yeah, they're saying these numbers. What I keep saying, Cola, I said 1 million, gazillion, bazillion people are getting this virus every day. That's what I say.
So out of the 329,000 deaths, if I'm not mistaken, 200,000 or so are white people, if not more.
But they said black people are getting it. What's the word called? Disproportionately.
Disproportionately. Yeah.
In America.
Uh-huh.
In America. But if you add up all the black people who died in America, that's equivalent to Italy.
Yeah, Italy was Belgium.
You can think about it. You got the UK, you got France, you got Belgium, you got you call it Spain. All these places, Italy, they all got 20,000, 30,000 deaths.
Yeah.
All white. Africa, the entire continent doesn't have, I think, over 1,000 deaths, 1,500.
Yeah, some low, some real little.
You see what I mean? So because of our proximity to white folks, our lifestyle in America, how we live like white folks, that's pretty much in the system that the healthcare system in America, we're the leading cause of death. Anyhow you look at anything in the healthcare system, you know. So
Yeah.
for me, like when it comes to just getting proper medical evaluations, proper assessments, proper treatment, those three things cause more death in the Black community than anything.
That is true.
And those three things are typically all led by a white doctor. So again, it brings us back to education. If we want to protect ourselves in the medical field, we need more pro-Black doctors in the front lines who are assessing us, treating us, and administering us. But if we have somebody who's evaluating us that's white, administering what we have is and they're white, and treating us, our hopes are with the people that some of us many of us consider to be enemies.
Yeah, but also too, I think we have to take some accountability because a lot of us don't take our health seriously.
That's a fact.
I know a lot of people that have passed or that have made their situation worse because they didn't believe that they had high blood sugar because they couldn't see the high blood sugar, or they didn't believe that they had diabetes. High blood pressure because they couldn't feel it. And I'm a nurse. I work in the system, and I've seen people who were diagnosed with diabetes, but they will and have already have one leg amputated, and will still go back to the same old sugary diet that they had, and then end up getting the other leg amputated. I've seen a man lose limb by limb, toe by toe, leg by leg, and then go blind. So I think a lot of it also is we don't take accountability and responsibility for our own health. So I think that's a part of the problem as well, along with us having, predominantly white people in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to read these numbers real quick. So America has 93,000 deaths. They say,
bro, you wanna show your screen, or you just gonna read?
Oh, I can show where my
yeah, I can. I think I can share it.
Oh yeah, I can see share screen.
Yeah, that's if you want to, bro. You know how we do though, man. We want to pull up the receipts, man. We want to show the numbers. We can show the numbers, man. You ready?
Yeah, y'all see it?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, got it.
You good now.
So you see 93,000 deaths in America. They say about 25% is Black. So let's say 100,000 people died. Out of that 100,000, we got to hold 25,000 people. 25,000 Black people died. Let's just hold that number. The UK, 35,000. This is almost all white. So let's keep going. Italy, all white. France, all white. Spain, all white.
European countries.
Yeah. We're going to go over Brazil. Belgium, all white. Germany, Iran, they white. Canada, mostly white. Mexico, most of them white too. Turkey, they white. Sweden, they white. India, we'll talk about that. Peru, we'll talk about that. Russia, you see what I mean? Look, let's go down the line. Show me when you see a Black nation. Egypt, Black. Denmark, Chile, Dominican Republic, 446 deaths. We'll talk about that. South Africa, 339 deaths. 25,000 Black people are dead. But I want you to understand, 25,000. Look, we just went down the numbers. Yeah. Now let's add in. Let's say Brazil is all, but let's say that's half of that's Black. Yeah. Let's add 25,000. Let's add 9,000 more in there. Let's take 1,000 from all of these places. UK 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. We ain't in Belgium. 4. Let's add another 4,000. So we have what? Maybe
38. I got like 38 now.
You see what I mean? So we had about 38,000. Look at the numbers. This white.
Yep.
Now, when we start to get to the mixy areas, now let's look at Africa, the most impoverished continent.
Yeah, that's what they tell us.
Worst medical systems, right?
Yeah, yep. They tell us.
Fear on each other. Let's look at it. Tanzania, look at Guinea, Congo. Right? So someone just said on my line that they may not have the tools for proper accounting.
And that's true in a lot of the cases, but those numbers are still quite low.
We'll go down to the numbers part. So now in Black countries, our issue is malaria,
Okay.
That's true.
abortion. Those are our issues. In COVID right now, those are our issues. Most of those people who are dying from those respiratory issues they had pre-existing respiratory issues. They had health issues in our community. This has already been shown in New York City. Most of those Black deaths that are there, most of those people had pre-existing issues.
Yeah, they say that all the time.
The medical issue is the system. JRB4. Our issue is the medical issue. For example, let's just go back to Google and let's look at New Jersey, 2018.
Let's get it, man. Hey, while Q looking that up, everybody hit that share button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. We digging in deep, man. I have my brother, your brother, our brother, Q Butter, man. You know, straight out of New York, man. Dropping gems on the people right now, man. Tell a friend to tune in right here, right now, man. Go ahead, Q.
These are the type of mistakes that our hospitals have in our community. 3,000 people were exposed to AIDS from dirty equipment in a modern hospital in one of the most advanced cities in the world. Yes, New Jersey. Officials say patients who had procedures done at Health Plus Surgery Center in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, between 2018, January and September 2000 may have been exposed. Surgery Center Administrator Betty McCabe said the exposure was due to the deficiencies in infection control involving the cleaning of instruments and injection of medications.
What?
They're using dirty needles, and it sounds like they're recycling needles to me. That's what happened in the 80s when everybody was getting AIDS from the needles. This is our issue.
Yeah.
I am at an awe because in this day and time, it seems impossible to be recycling needles.
This is a reality. You know what I mean? This is in America.
Yeah.
So it just what we receive, and we can go down the list of things that in our neck of the world we receive the short end of the stick. And so for me,
is that you said that was a state hospital?
Yeah, a surgery, yep, hospital, yep.
No, a state hospital.
Oh, let me make sure I quoted it right.
Yeah.
It's at Health Plus Surgery Center in Saddlebrook. I'm not sure if it's in my opinion, does it really? We're in America. Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But if it's a state hospital, then most of the time state hospitals cater to those of low income. So that's what I was wondering.
Mm-hmm. One article I saw promoted, it was a low income surgical hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what I said. I think I spoke about that before, where I said like every city or every hood has that one hospital where we know it's some bullshit going on at that hospital.
Yeah.
Every majority Black town or city knows that
they don't have the money for the proper resources.
Yeah, they have that one hospital. Like, man, I took my daughter to the local hospital here that everybody don't fuck with, Skyline. I took my daughter to Skyline one time, and her whole family called my phone like, "Don't ever take her back there." Like, They just have that reputation of doing a bunch of bullshit. So
I'm gonna have to dig into that article a little more. That literally got me pissed.
yeah, it's rough, man.
It's the economics of business. Like I was talking to somebody earlier about vaccinations.
Yeah,
I'm not against vaccinations. I'm against the corporations,
Right.
business interests with the policies that go towards the embetterment of people. So if you have a hospital having to choose between should I buy a vaccination that has all of these in it because I have to work with poor people. So let me take the cheapest way possible. I'm gonna try to get a way to put all of these in one versus saying, let's do more research to find the best way possible to give this to people. And when you're choosing between profits and profit being the main decision factor between how you handle people, and for us black people, we're always going to get the short end of the stick.
Always.
It's just business. And so I much rather say we need to be able to say in 10 years, we're going to have 50,000 doctors worldwide entering the world. 15 years, and we say in 20 years, we have our own plan to educate our own doctors, engineers, scientists, mechanics, so that way we can effectively plan and say in 15 years, we can handle what we have going on with us.
And so is this part of the reason why you chose to create the school? Because okay. Part of the reason.
Education is a foundation. If you look at any great society, the institutions for education were some of their centerpieces.
How can we? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you think about ancient Kemet, in Egypt, what did Alexander burn down?
The libraries.
You see what I mean? I can have
the knowledge.
The knowledge is what I'm gonna burn down. Timbuktu, it's all about the knowledge. The Jews, it's all about the knowledge. If we don't promote education and look at it as a structural tool to develop our community, to which we're linking in all of the pieces we need. We need plumbers here. We need agriculture here. We need farmers here. We need military people here. We need mechanics. All of these different pieces come from the institutions that develop us. But if they're not saying, it was crazy talking to black banks, and I'm like, look, you'll never make money if you don't invest in education. It's just that simple.
Talking to who? It was interesting talking to black who?
Black bank owners, black bank executives. I'm like, look,
okay,
invest in education and be actively a face of it. Not just a silent person. Like, no, let them know you put 10,000 into a kid. Let them see that.
Yeah.
You feel that, like, what, we're investing. We're putting back.
Yeah.
We exist.
Mm-hmm. Like, trust us. Trust us. You know what I mean? Like, this is your black bank. Trust us. You feel me? Because Q, I spoke with you when you was down here in Tennessee. Like, we have the Citizens Bank. Yeah. But like you said, the Citizens Bank, they're not doing anything to coerce us or convince us that this is where we should be banking. You got people banking it. Go ahead, Q.
No, remember, he told me up front, you damn sure right. He told me, like, look, we don't want your type of business, Q.
And it's like, what?
Whoa.
Like, what was it, Johnson Street? What was the black district?
Jefferson Street. Yeah, we went to Jefferson Street.
Jefferson Street. He took me there. We went to the black bank. I'm like, yo, we want to get your support. We want to try to get people to open up. He's like, look, we have most of their accounts is white money. So it was slapping their white clients' face if they jumped on this bandwagon. It's retarded. And I challenged them to say, your white clients are here because you're black.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You think they're here because you're a big bank?
That's a fact. Because Q, when me and you really met, that was the big thing. Bank black. And when everybody started banking black, and then me and you sit down and chopped it up, and you was like, that's cool with banking black, but what is the black bank doing for the community?
For us, yeah.
And it's like, really nothing. So I can't even be mad at the brother for going to SunTrust. You feel me? At least
there you go.
He can get a payday loan from SunTrust. Citizens Bank, you know what I'm saying? And y'all know my show is not about shitting on black people. You feel
of course.
Me? I'm never going to shit on black organizations, but Brother Q was saying the realest thing, man. Like, he's going to have to, I don't know if they're old school or have an old school way of thinking, but like, It's 2020. Some gonna shake though. Like I said, I still bank there. My savings account is there, and there's young black people there. But like you said, they're not the face of it. So
I'm with Carver Bank. You know, Carver Bank is still, you know, by capital, you know, one of the strongest financial black banks, and they're nowhere near $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, it's just perspective. You
Yeah.
know, like that, like, bro, you're not even up like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
they could be.
You could be if they went
Yeah.
black. If they went black.
That's it.
If we invested into ourselves and we saw it as a viable situation. But if we're taught to hate ourselves, we're taught to look down on ourselves, we're never going to see ourselves as a source of success. Even if we're making money.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're making money off something black, you're still not going to see your blackness as a source of success.
Yes.
That's where you got Puffy still hunting for money with white folks. Yeah. You got 50 Cent, you got $500 million, and you're still looking for success because you got that white person in your head.
And so I'm glad you mentioned them. I was wanting to ask you, do you think the entertainers have a responsibility in their music to help shape us, or to help influence the children that they know who are listening to them?
Most entertainers have an education around the 4th grade. And if they have one higher than 4th to 8th grade, I would hold them accountable.
But you said you would or wouldn't?
I would, but you know, most of the ones we grew up with have like a 4th to 8th, 6th grade education.
Yeah.
And so, how far are you really holding them, you know, accountable? The black entertainers in Hollywood, they may come from the streets, but they come from fucked up situations in the streets, found their way to Hollywood, and they're trying to escape. You know what I mean? They're not like trying to like, and if they do try to find a way back, goodbye Hollywood.
True.
You know, so it's like I do hold. I get to black people. I get to my people. I have black men all the time in my community, our people, and so I know what we got going on. And sometimes it's too much that I know, and I don't want to know that much. But the reality is, many of us in that community don't hold the educational background needed to really be held accountable outside of, you know, you don't know. You know, it's like I can't, you know, I even use that same rationale with some of the more famous coons in the world, because they spent their life growing up in white neighborhoods. They went to white schools. They got a number of white friends. They were hated on because of their complexion in their family, and then they became super coons. Like, I even understand their plight. You know what I mean? So it's like, unless we're coming from a place of, like, I can be on my bullshit, but I know that we have to heal us. So when it comes to us, I got nothing but love for us. So I can look through the bullshit if I have to and see where your coolness comes from, where your ignorance comes from, and try to intellectually develop you to a space where you can actually be held accountable. But if you don't even understand or know if you can't name 10 freedom fighters, not including Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, we're not in the space to have that conversation.
Yeah. Right. But at the same time, while some of it is destroying us, do you still do we give them a pass, or do we not say anything?
Oh no, you definitely say something, but in saying something, you may replicate the 80s when the church looked down on hip hop. And what did that force hip hop to do? Go to the rock and roll white boys.
Yeah.
Rock and roll
I remember that, yeah.
They had bread. The rock and roll Jewish dudes, the coke sniffing, weed smoking Jewish dudes. Mm-hmm. I got money for you, bro. Shit, here's $1 million, bro. We're gonna give you $1 million, and look, you're gonna be successful. And take this little $100, $1 million, not even $1 million. Hold this 85,000. Hold this 60,000. That could have been the church's money. And
so
that would have been billions of dollars.
So how do we educate and help heal and uplift what's being torn down by way of music? How do we do that if we can recognize what's going on?
I think it's education, and influence. You know, you know, the greater the capacity of influence we have with our youth, the greater the chance we have at being able to predict or actually hope that they come out to or live that type of lifestyle. And so if we're just like, there's a brother who got lit in our studio and he's, you know, doing really well.
Okay.
And he just opened up a nonprofit to do education and different stuff like that. And I want to attribute it to saying like the influence we might have had. But that's something, you know, and
That's something.
it's something. And if you count the amount of negative influences or just regular influences, Nike is advertising all day long. Gin owns Hennessy, or Seagram owns Hennessy. Seagram's invest in Cadillac, both invest millions of dollars into hip hop. Clear Channel and Universal invest millions into hip hop. So if we want to influence these children, we have to look at the money that's being used to propel these children.
Fact.
Because it's not even a lot of money they're getting. At the end of the day, when they look at the numbers, they're getting $1 million, 250,000, 80,000, $120,000. When they get into that office with that last white guy, yeah, look, this is what you're actually getting. The rappers that's getting that $1 million, that ain't too many of them coming around.
It's true.
And if they are worth $1 million, they're already making that money on the internet. And their view is that they need white people's success.
Yeah.
Versus capitalizing on what of their own. Now, if you want to sell us the spook who sat by the door, work your way through the industry, I'm not a fan of that. You know what I mean? Tyler Perry, I wouldn't tell my sons to dress up as no woman to get into the industry. And he did it so nobody else has to. You know, but you know, that's not the tea. I don't even want to be around anybody drinking that type of tea.
Hey, so you don't subscribe to the we need a seat at the table theory.
We need our own table.
There you go.
You can't get a seat at the table if you don't have a table.
So what about you have to?
What type of man? Like if I go out to eat, I don't go out to eat with men. But if I go out to eat with men, that means we either had a business interaction, we just left a business interaction, we met on a business interaction. Why would I want to sit with somebody who doesn't have their own table? Think about it. I think you're one of the few people I actually sat up and ate with when I went on tour. You own a table.
Yeah.
It's an honor sitting with you. You have your own restaurant in a well-established area. So sitting with you is table talk. But you can't get to the table if you don't have a table for yourself.
That is so true.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay, so
go ahead, please.
Okay, so you were mentioning white people's success. You said that several times throughout this conversation. What exactly is white people's success, and what's the difference between white people's success and black people's success?
Our success is about getting ourselves to a position of sustainability. Anything outside of that is nigga shit.
I agree. I agree with that.
White people's success. I need another 40 bedrooms in my house.
That's it.
You know, I need another 27 rooms. I need another one of this. Nigga shit.
And so how you think the messages got crossed? Because we're always want more, bigger, and better. Flashier.
Marketing. White people have been marketing and influencing us mentally for years.
Yeah.
All the TV shows. Look at the Jeffersons.
Moving on up.
You know, I wasn't, and it's funny, my pops didn't ever let me watch those shows because he was like, Q, that's not reality. And if that is a reality, that's their reality. And then he was like, look, a lot of these people you're watching are gay. You know, and that taught me to respect the person behind the art.
Okay.
And a lot of people weren't taught that standard. Like,
Right.
you know, your art is one thing, but you're a fucking rapist. Fuck you and your art. Excuse me.
Right. Right.
You know, like, you're a pedophile. Fuck you and your. I don't care about none of your movies. Burn all them shits.
Right.
Like how you treat R. Kelly. It's really difficult not being able to listen to R. Kelly right now. That like let's talk about. We can't listen to R. Kelly. He's a fucking pedophile.
Okay, so you were an R. Kelly fan.
Hell, who the hell ain't?
Right. And so, okay, so
like I can tear up that.
I consider myself an R. Kelly ex super fan.
All of us, and that shit hurts.
Well, you know, there's some people that are trying to separate the music from the man.
We're not teaching our children something right, and we're only creating further artists in the industry who get away with saying, "Oh, this is just my art image."
I agree.
No, that's who you are, homeboy.
Speak the truth. That's the truth.
You want to know something? In Nazi Germany, the first Hollywood was created in Germany by Jews, right?
Okay.
And the Jews made money off of selling sex. The first televised sex show was in Germany.
I heard that.
Wow. I didn't know that.
The Jewish community never watched it. So when Hitler came in and back and he saw y'all are selling us our weaknesses, that is extreme profiteering. You know I'm weak, but you won't come sell me drugs? I need to skin you. You're a profiteer. And so that hate he had was also marked by their cultural views that they're allowed to profit off of anyone who's not part of their movement.
Facts.
And they've been had that, you know, that's their culture.
Yeah.
But some people ain't playing that. Like you in my country, you pay. You don't pay, you leave or die. One or the other. You can pick. But you got like 5 minutes. I feel like using my gun.
Yeah. That's for real. That's for real. That's what black people tell another black person, right? You said the dope on my turf. You got 5 minutes. You only got 5 minutes. I'm going around the corner. I'll be back in 5 minutes. If you still here, it's a problem.
There's a documentary on this dude that robbed Pablo Escobar on Netflix. I forgot the name of it. It's like the Russian. This dude, this shit is fire. Okay. But he bought 3 helicopters from, was it Croatia? One of these countries that used to be in the USSR. The second they were about to leave, they were surrounded by guns. Yo, where the bread at? They were the government, the police, and the gang.
Everybody working together.
It was all one. Once shit goes back to the wire, it's going back to jungle. The jungle goes back to all that cartel shit. That's jungle life.
Yeah.
When Venezuela fell apart, if I'm leaving Venezuela, they went to jungle life. The gangs took over. They took over the mines. All of the money in the capital fell apart. You got people in suits working in mines for drug dealers. That was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. And that's how everybody does. Everybody gets on code, get on code, and I think that's I think this is the time we're in now, man. And that's why I have brothers like you on the show, man. It's time to get on code, right? Right now we're fucking quarantined. Everybody's in this quarantine, and now you have your kids. It's them 8-9 hours that your kids will be in school. Now those kids are at home. You feel me? And what I wanted to bring you on for is, what should we be telling these kids right now? What should we be teaching these kids right now that we're forced, right? Which is a good thing, but we're forced to spend 9-10 hours, 24 hours with these kids. You feel me?
Well, you can put them in the Zayas Institute. You know what I'm saying? Baby. Tell them crack. You know what's funny? I had a parent call me today, was like, I hate the school system. I put them in Catholic school. Then I put them in the public school, and it's just terrible. And she was like, you know, I'm just not sure yet. And I was like, so I said it on purpose. I was like, you know, you want to give the system a little bit more time, right? And she was like, yeah, you know, I want to give it some more time. In my mind, I'm like, we're not. You're not ready to be around me yet.
Oh.
Why are you giving the system more time with your children? You know what I mean? What like now the cracker is not just talking to your baby. They telling you what to do with your baby in front of your baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so let me ask you, what do you think about the public school system? Obviously, you found that there was a need for Black empowerment and Black education, Blacks being educated by Blacks. What did you see the problem with? What did you see was wrong with the public school system?
I'm trying to find a post I put up earlier because I just put up a post saying like the public school system. Let me see if I got it right there. Just so you can see the timing. That's crazy.
Because just like the lady you were just talking about, I had that same issue when my daughter was in school.
The public school system has done a great job, and I mean a great job, at making sure our children are failing behind every ethnic group. Mm. We make up the smallest population of those employed in STEM.
We do.
Understanding of our history. We fill jail quotas. Oh my goodness. Shout out to the public school system for making sure that jails were able to fill their quotas by simply making sure that you don't pass the 4th grade reading test. Make sure you pass your literacy test, math and literacy. Making sure that you practice unhealthy lifestyles. Making sure that you're socially removed from wealth. All you niggas is going to go to this school zoned for you niggas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That way, all you po niggas can sit around and have po nigga conversation.
There you go.
Po nigga wealth talk.
Yep.
Who the rich rapper, who got the best Jordans, and you'll never be socially next to the wealth. And then if you get used pro-choice, your mama or daddy don't know how to use pro-choice. So more than likely, you're just going to end up going to a white school. And then your baby going to be the product of a bunch of white kids bullying them, white kids talking to them, white kids looking down at them. And then they're going to turn up being one of these super coons.
Mm-hmm.
And let me ask you this. Can you go into detail why it's unhealthy for a Black child to be in a predominantly white school, sometimes being the only Black in the classroom? Because here where I'm at, people take a lot of pride in putting their children in these wealthy private schools and brag about it.
They boast. They boast about it. Not only do is they take pride, like Sis said, they boast about it. Like it's Facebook posts. Hey, my son got in the Father Ryan Academy. My son is going to Franklin Road Academy, but his zip code is 37208, which we know is one of the poorest in the nation.
And I'm gonna tell you, once upon a time, I was of that mindset. And my daughter got in one of those schools, and my mother, old school, begged me not to place her in that environment. And I listened. And I'm to this day, I'm grateful because I've seen a lot of kids go through those schools, and they lose themselves. They lose who they are, and they're constantly trying to fit in an environment that is not going to accept them. And I've seen it lower their self-esteem, and amongst other things. And that's a domino effect within itself. Blacks already a lot of times have low self-esteem anyway, but to be put in a predominantly white environment, it makes it even worse, especially when all the teachers are white as well.
That's a fact. Go ahead, Q.
Let me see. Let me reshare
your screen. Go ahead.
So this document right here is the preliminary report. All right, so racism took a turn in the 1900s and it got modernized. And most people, you should know eugenics. This is a report that was financed by the Carnegie Institute in 1902, I believe, or 1912, to find ways on dealing with what they call the defective germplasm. You see? Report on the committee of the eugenics section of the American Breeders Association to study and to report on the best practical means for cutting off the defective germplasm in the human population. The defective germplasm was Black people.
Yes.
So if I can y'all see my screen?
Go ahead. Yeah, yes, sir, bro. Zoom in.
Because I can find another one. Can you see it? So a lot of the things that y'all are
Hold
describing.
on, hold on. It's blank. It's blank now, bro.
You know what? Let me pull up a different one.
Well, is there a website that you can give for people who want to look that up?
You're going to type in preliminary report on removing defective germplasm. It comes up in a bunch of different libraries. I don't know why my search engine is on Yahoo right now. It's the worst. So y'all can see how easy it is to pull this up because they don't have the information's right in our face.
Right, it's there.
There you go. And why brother Q pulling it up, man? Hit the like button, the share button, subscribe button, man. Listen, tell a friend, tell a friend. We rocking, man. I got the brother Q Butter putting down knowledge like always, man. Like he do all the time, man. So salute, salute. You know what I'm saying? Share, like, subscribe, all of that good shit.
Yeah, you see, so if you type it in, it comes up. I'm just seeing if I can find a PDF.
Yeah, why he look for that, man?
Here we go. This is a PDF, I believe. And I found this document by accident. And this. So remember the question you asked. The schools. It relates to the policies and the mindset that we have in our community today. So why Black people feel like
yeah. Why do we brag and boast and feel a sense of accomplishment when we send our kids to predominantly white schools?
So the defective germplasm is the mind state, right? So to make a fit person who's not feeble-minded, and as for a Negro, someone who's developed to be fit in society. So this is the era where they're trying to figure out how to deal with Black people.
There we go.
In this, they make a suggestion for these 10 points. I hope I didn't pass it yet.
That's crazy. It's kind of breaking down like the Willie Lynch letter in a sense. You feel me? Like I was having a conversation with some brothers and sisters about the Willie Lynch letter the other day, and this what you're saying, Q Butter, is just like another letter or another philosophy where we study Black people, and like you said earlier, we feed them their weaknesses, and we capitalize off their weaknesses, right? Yep. We know if we can turn the light skin against the dark skin, then we got them. If we can turn the man against the woman, we got them. That was what the Willie Lynch was pretty much saying. You feel me? You turn the house Negro against the slave, against the field Negro, and then that's how you divide and conquer. And this is pretty much what this is saying. You right? You know what I'm saying? If you can feel like the white person's ice is colder, then you got a Black. You got it.
You know, I never heard. You know, I heard that argument on YouTube like earlier this year for the first time, and the brother and I got into a debate. And he's like, "Yo, I just want colder ice," and I'm like, I've never heard that. That is the most. It's fucking ice. I don't know if you're hot, you just want ice. I don't. You know, if you want colder ice, go to a better refrigerator.
Yeah.
But I gotta work when I can just go to white neighborhoods. So you see here, this is the suggested remedies. Right? So remember I said life segregation during the reproductive period. The reproductive period for humans is what? From 12 to 14 to about 40.
Okay.
So life segregation. So one of the key things is to segregate the adults when they get older because they were scared that what? Black men were going to have sex with white women.
Right.
So they said separate them. Don't tell them, just do it. Restrictive marriage laws and customs. So I was just listening to a Black dude's show, and he was telling this Black woman that he should leave this Black man because he's not successful enough. And I've met so many Black women in my 20s who didn't want to deal with me on a certain level because I wasn't successful enough. And I'm happy with my 3 children. I'm doing my thing in my business. They're like 40 now, no kids, over the hill, and still chasing their career. That little white girl in the head. That's the eugenic, restrictive marriage laws. where we take on their customs, right? Then eugenic education of the public and prospective marriage mates. This does not mean it's in a positive way. This just means we're going to infiltrate your mind and how you should think about your people. How many people have heard somebody say, oh, she has babies, she's no good. Oh, he got kids, he's no good.
Facts.
That's eugenic education. Oh, light skin is better. Eugenic education. You should go to college to become successful. Eugenic education. Right?
Yeah.
System of mating promoting the removal of defective traits. Defective traits. Big lips.
Okay.
Big noses.
Okay.
Straight hair. Bleaching of skin. You see? Our way we talk, get rid of that. That's all a form of defective traits. That's what people who do who are imbeciles. That's what the poor do. If you don't want to be like the poor, you need to be like this.
Right.
And that's when black people started to become this bourgeois. Who created the bourgeois? They created the bourgeois. Laissez-faire mentality. White people said, we're going to create a group of black people who feel as though they don't need to look at other black people and worry about them. That's their issue. I'm just focused on me.
And you know what though, I realized that really hit during the integration part, especially in the South. You understand what I'm saying? Like I know, family. I'm still working on this fucking documentary, man, about Jefferson Street in the 50s and 60s. I know I've been saying it for like over a year and a half. But that's one of my dream projects, Q, is to break down Jefferson Street that we spoke about earlier in the 50s and 60s when it was the hub of black life, black
culture,
black social life, black business life. It was the hub for us. You know why? Because it's all we had. But as soon as other people came into the community, they start building railways, railroad systems to commute black people out of the community and take them into the suburbs and other communities to work. It's working, right? But then they started to move there. They opened up the doors and said, okay, this is an all-white community, but we'll let 4 of y'all come in. Now 5 come in is a problem. But
that's like segregation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like a brain drain. And that's what you're explaining. It's like a brain drain. Like we want to open the doors for some of y'all, but only the ones that we deem intelligent or sufficient to live in our neighborhoods. You understand what I'm saying? Like we don't want the bottom of the barrel to come in here. We want the Meharry. Meharry is a black hospital, a historic black hospital in Nashville, Q. But the first people they went and got were the top physicians and surgeons at Meharry. They appealed to them first, and then they got them to move out of the community and then look back at the community like, damn, they can't make it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly what you're saying, my brother.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I want to go ahead, bro.
Just to run through them. General environmental betterment. That's they control in bettering our community, and the idea of them taking care of our community, they control. They put polygamy on here. Polygamy, you have uncontrolled polygamy and controlled polygamy. We have uncontrolled polygamy running rampant in the black community.
Could you explain that for the view? Could you explain that, please?
We have baby mother and baby daddy syndrome everywhere.
There you go.
He has more than one baby mother, and they're not working together. So that's negative polygamy. Positive polygamy has nothing to do with sex. It's about relationships between people, multiple people working together.
So let me ask you this negative polygamy, do you think that that's changed us?
Yes.
Or has had an effect on us? And if so,
all of them go together. Before I even answer that one, look, euthanasia. Okay. Euthanasia, right? In order for us to be ignorant, there has to be a way for us to die off so we don't overpopulate ourselves. The
That is
abortion,
true.
the leading cause of death, one of the leading causes of death for Black people is the abortion. Murder. Woman, ladies, if you want to murder a baby, that's on you. More, it's your choice, but it's murder. Let's not play with the words. That heart is beating. You can take that baby out in about 4 weeks, put him in a machine, and that baby will become a person.
Put him in a blender. You can put the baby in a blender. But now the ladies have the option to just take that baby, put it in a blender, and be done with it.
At 33 weeks in New York now. It's like, are you shitting me?
And it's like $350, $400.
Bro, it's subsidized.
$350, $400, man. Get that baby in the blender.
It's subsidized. With Obama, I believe they subsidize abortion. Now, I'm pro-choice. If that's what you choose to fucking do with your baby, that's your choice. That's your loins. The reality is that's the leading cause, one of the leading causes of death in the Black community. The mentality, though, is thinking is called euthanasia, where you're putting someone to death out of mercy. I had a brother call me up and was like, yo, Q, so you saying that it would be better for me to raise a baby when I don't got money? I said, first of all, if you want to murder a baby because you don't have money, that's your irresponsibility. That's your laziness. Just understand that's what you're saying. You're choosing your pocket over life. Your biological purpose is to create life.
That's a fact.
If you die tomorrow, you ruined your only chance at replicating yourself because you don't make enough money.
That's a fact.
And so, and I tell brothers now, this is the best era to make children. The best era. You got Walmart, not to say it like that. You got fucking Walmart, Target, Amazon. Babies are mad inexpensive. It makes you mature, makes you swagged out.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of the woman. Mm-hmm. Practice. If you want to have multiple women, be polygamous, be honest up front, find a woman who's with that. You take care of her, you pay the bills, you treat her right, you make sure your family's good, and you have her and you create enough, extend your family. Just don't go out finding or to create that with her. But that'll ruin, take away so much fighting and domestic violence if you just start off with polygamy. Look, I want to have multiple women. I don't want to tell you behind your back, or you want to have multiple men and you don't want to do it behind his back. Be honest. Look at 2020. Get to the bag, and with going past that, and when she asked about the listen to the statement right here.
Okay.
Which of these remedies shall be applied? Shall one, two, or several, or maybe all be made to operate? What are the limitations and possibilities of each remedy? Shall one class of the socially unfit be treated with one remedy and another with a different one? Fucking crackers. If you don't know what the socially unfit is, that was the modernization of the word Negro.
There you go.
Unfit turned into impoverished.
Yeah, and it started out as what was it? Three-fifths of a human being.
Yep.
Like, if that don't set the fucking foundation of what we were in this country, then I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, they're just revolutionizing the words. They're just playing with the words, man. We went from 3/5 to fucking less than human to impoverished, and like it's just step by step by step.
Yeah.
To like I keep using this word, so let's help me out. You know it's hard for me. Disproportionate.
Disproportionately, yeah.
Disproportionate is the word they're using now, and it's like, hold on, man, hold on. Why the fuck every time you have to say black or African American or whatever word you want to use, you have to put disproportionate behind it? Like
it's a deficit adjective.
Yeah, it's urban. You can use urban. Like, come on, man. So many words you can use, man. And I love this book. Q, it's been a beautiful, beautiful hour, my brother. Beautiful hour, my brother.
Know that.
Great thing I got you on deck, man, and you have so many more gems to get. We're gonna do this, bro. If you know what I'm saying, if you with it, I want to make this a regular thing, man. Where I bring you on a platform. You feel me? I definitely want to bring you on a platform. Um, I do want to ask you this question, man, because I know when I was tuning in to your YouTube channel and really getting to know you as a brother, I seen you was getting a lot of pushback for having an what you would call an all black or Afrocentric curriculum and institute. You feel me? So let me ask you first and foremost: are non-blacks allowed inside of the institute?
You can come and visit, yeah. If I'm here, if we're available and we have time, we can schedule you in. We'll make sure we'll find a time to do it. I really be busy a lot of times because it's not, if your people are impoverished and your goal is to help a certain population who is being negatively affected, that's not racist. So technically, by all standards, our community is being subjugated to the worst forms of servicing. And so it would only be in the best interest of those in the community to find ways to develop our community. So if you truly respect what we're doing, you should just support it. I've had more black people, I've had a few white people say like, and I had to tell them like, look, this is for us. You look up the mission statement for Zionist movement. It says we're for the development of Africans, Black Americans, African Americans, Afro Latinos, whichever word that means black in 2020, Moorish, whichever one you want to put, that's who we for. Indigenous. If you're not one of those people, you're taken away from someone who mathematically needs it. You're being selfish, Billy. Karen, you're being selfish.
What you said, Karen? Karen, we're 13% of the population. That's what you tell us, Karen. Damn. Let us have our little school over here. We out of the way. Like, we're not bothering nobody.
Y'all lying and getting into colleges. Y'all moms can fake a document and get into colleges. We can't even fake documents and get into colleges.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Sidebar, I listened to a podcast about is it Harvard or Yale? They had like a whole swimming scandal where rich white people were paying this guy to say, hey, Sarah was on the swimming team. Let her into Harvard. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we'll never know about that, man. But salute, man. Let me share my screen, man. This right here is the fucking Zayx Institute, man. Located in New York City. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not sharing my screen right. Let me share it, man, for the family. So yes, man, this is the website, man. Give them, what is it? Zayx Institute. Spell it out for them, Q.
The Zayx Institute, THEXYAYXINSTITUTE.org.
And Q Butter, could you please go over again? I think you mentioned it in the beginning, the goals for the students at your school.
Go ahead. And before he answers that, I am posting the link.
Okay.
To brother Q Butter's website, man. The ZyXInstitute.org. The link is in the chat, man. Make sure you click on that. Support your brother, our brother. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Q. What was the question?
The goal is empowerment. Empowerment means the ability to take care of oneself, sustain oneself, and in order to do that, you have to be educated. You want to tie your shoes? In order to be empowered to tie your shoe, and most of you have children, remember the day when your kid is empowered enough, I don't got to tie your shoe no more. We just got my son a potty. You know what I mean? Like, my youngest son. Soon he'll be able to wipe his own. Like, that is one of the greatest empowerment moments as a parent. You don't got to change them with diapers. And why? Because they learned how to use the bathroom. So in order for us to be able to take care of ourselves, we have to be empowered in every facet every facet we can think of possible. So that way we can tie our shoes and fish for ourselves, mend our own, attend and mend to our illnesses and sicknesses or injuries or whatever it be.
Okay, and also, what is it that we can do at home to tie into what you're doing? If what are those things that we can incorporate in the household as parents?
Um, just join the movement. Work with you. Our institute is a family of people. So, you have a computer. Same way we do this. We got 30, 40, we have each class about, I think, about 25 kids a class. So, same thing as this. Your kids can be logged on just like how we're doing and building, and that's what it's about. Because it's not just, I only say that not to say that to like that, Calvin, but I want my kids to be networked with yours.
That's a fact.
They can't do that if they're spending 8 hours a day with these white folks.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
And they're in a system, in a building that's not focused on our empowerment. You have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go to an AA meeting, you're here because of empower. You want to stop drinking. Mm-hmm. When you go to a gay and lesbian facility, you are open to that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say Black education, or if you have Black populated, the school is mostly Black students, and the students are not saying we're here to empower ourselves and our community. Why do you need to be empowered? So that we can sustain ourselves. Why do you need to be able to sustain yourself? So you can take care of yourself. Why is it important to be able to take care of yourself? It's what responsible people do.
Facts.
You cannot. So anybody who argues, we show our students the definition of the word responsibility. The very first week, all grade levels have to practice the word responsibility.
There you go.
That is important.
There you go.
You cannot be a functioning, responsible adult if you don't take care of your community. It's illegal in America. You have to pay taxes.
That's a fact.
Or you have to invest and take care of your community.
There's so much power in just that one word, and what's so crazy is we overlook it on a regular basis. And one more thing before we go. Can I ask one more question?
Take out, sis. Take out, baby.
Okay, so do you think that there is, what do you think about the gay agenda, if you believe that there is one?
Oh, there's definitely a gay agenda. That goes back with eugenics. It's back to marketing. So a lot of people think like the gay agenda, like in my opinion, I'm like, look, they're doing anything impossible to maintain population.
Mm-hmm.
That is the goal of one of the primary goals of eugenics, maintaining population. So that's not a conspiracy. That's what they were scared of. That's what they want to do. And so whatever they feel can lead toward their eugenic goals, they're going to do. So that means on Netflix, they're going to promote a bunch of interracial relationships. Mm-hmm. They're going to do that. That means that they're going to promote homosexual behavior to everyone, because they already do that shit. White people's lifestyles, naturally, in the modern world, they only make 1.1 to 1.2 babies a household.
That is true.
America's the only place where white folks is dropping babies. And it's like 1.3. Look, 1.3 or 1.5 in America. Yeah. We laugh at those numbers in the Black community.
Yeah.
You got to stop us from doing 4. You know what I mean? You got to stop us from bringing in 4 babies. Like, what? Right. We bringing in 4. The white people in America, and because they stopped at the 1.3, and they're dropping down, what? 40% of America now has a negative birth rate. So they're not even 1.1, 1 to 1. They got states where they're not making more babies than being born. We abort 36,000 Black babies a year in New York. And we still make 35,000 Black babies a year in New York.
That's a fact, man.
So we have a negative birth rate because of white doctors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't slapping the shit out these sisters and say, you better go make that Black baby. That baby might save the fucking world. You're going to kill that baby before it grows. You doing my job for me. Good looks, nigga.
Yep.
That's a fact. And we're going to set up the stations for you to do that.
Yep.
You have the stations right here in your neighborhood.
In the neighborhood.
It's convenient. It's convenient. Like I said earlier, bro, it's $350. $350, man, get you an abortion, man.
and you don't got it, just walk over to Planned Parenthood. They're gonna give you a letter. You come back up, you don't gotta pay nothing.
A payment plan. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll work it out. We're gonna kill that baby.
Yeah, we're gonna kill it in the blender. We're gonna put that baby in the blender, man.
We're gonna chop his head up first.
Oh my God, y'all! Come on,
We're gonna
come on, y'all.
vision up. We're gonna suck the tube. You suck a tube in your vagina. You're not gonna feel it. You're gonna be high on purpose, and then we're gonna suck all that baby up out of you. When you finish, you'll be a fresh womb. A week later, you'll be getting dumped in again.
Yeah, they're gonna do it like that. Just get that baby out of there, man. It's over. Oh fuck, man.
I'm not saying some don't need. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. That's your choice. But don't walk around talking about I had an abortion. That is the form of euthanasia mentality. I'm gonna make you cool with mercy killing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Germany had to do. They had to normalize the idea of killing Jews.
Yeah.
That way, euthanasia became cool. They didn't say mercy killing. They said, look, well, let's make people get cool with the idea of putting dogs to sleep. Oh, no, you don't kill that shit. You mean kill it.
And put people in the oven. You had to make it cool. You had to make it, and that's why I always speak about propaganda. Because it was a 4 to 5 year propaganda run of Germany making it okay for Jewish people to die, like you said. And once we get the ball rolling, now we can just walk people into ovens, and it's cool. And that even relates to what I said last week, sis, when I said I don't show when black people get murdered by cops. I don't show that on my show. I don't. It's slave porn, and it's letting our people know, like, yeah, this is happening, but subconsciously we're letting them know, like, this is cool to happen.
And it normalizes. It normalizes us. Yeah.
Only thing we're gonna do is watch a black man get hunted. He's gonna get hunted down, and then we're gonna say, man, that's fucked up. And then when the next video comes,
and keep it
moving, go viral again. Like,
and unfortunately, I mean, we have already become numb to it, and it's already been normalized because we hear it almost every other month. And man, like you said, that's messed up. We have a little speech about it, and then a lot of us will keep on moving.
That's it, man. That's it, man. But listen, man, look, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. Wrap this up then. Remember words of Quavo. Wrap this up then. Wrap it up then. But
so shout out Quavo too, man. He signed my little man's in Brooklyn, man. He signed my man on Pop Out.
Okay. Salute to my brother Q Butter, man. Dope show. Like I said earlier, brother, we gotta do this more often, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know all I had to do was just reach out, man, and then you will come sit down with your brother, man. We'll do this, you know what I'm saying? We can do this shit more often, bro. I'll be reaching out to you soon. Salute to my sister, man. My sister who holds it down for the boy, man. My sister Cody. Salute to you, man. I would not be able to do this without you, sis, and I really appreciate it. Wouldn't be able to do this without you, Q. I know we all in a fucked up place right now in this corona shit, man, but
in a fucked up place. We good. We working.
Yeah, I like it. It's making people be held accountable, man. It's making you teach your badass kids. Sit at the house with your badass. Yeah, he bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sarah was not lying. Sarah was not lying on Ladera. Ladera, you hear me? So I love it, man. And then people are working from home. I hope it I didn't even get on the creative side of it. I hope this is making creators be more creative. You don't have shit but time on your hands, man. If you was doing streams or podcasts or writing books or poetry or writing raps, whatever the fuck you was doing, it should be on 10 right now. You feel me? So salute to creators like Cola, creators like Brother Q. Brother Q, is there anything you want to plug, bro, before we get up out of here, man? I got the ZayXInstitute.org on the screen, family.
Man, just make sure y'all subscribe, like the show. You know what I mean? The McGee Show. Check it on YouTube. Check it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Support my man. You still got the chicken spot, right?
No, we're working on it. We're working on it. We had to move locations, man. Shit didn't work out in that location, so we bringing it back to the hood.
All right, we're going to have to talk on the phone about that. We got to make sure that's open and running, man.
Yeah. We got to get it back right, though. June, I ain't gonna say June. We'll say June for right now. June is like the plan for a soft opening. But yeah, we got to wrap behind the scenes. I'll let you know what happened with that whole deal. But
I'm still looking for a space. If you can find a space out there.
yeah, that's a fact. And that's to the people, man. Listen to me. Get in my inbox, man. Let me know, man. If y'all know a space, man. What we need, Q.
I need about 5 rooms and a bathroom.
That's it, man. And we're gonna bring the Zyx to Nashville or to Tennessee. You feel me? You don't even have to be Nashville. We'll go anywhere in Tennessee, man. But make sure y'all get with me. We can link up with Brother Q.
Gotta be in the black neighborhood. Gotta be in the hood in the black neighborhood. Can't be don't bring about no white folks. Don't have me no Mexican neighborhood. 15 minutes from the black neighborhood. No, we're gonna be on the outskirts of white neighborhood. Let's go downtown. Nah, now he'll tell you I don't want to see nothing but the city. I'm bringing us to the hood, our hood. Nowhere near the white folks.
I'm gonna tell you, it's needed and people want it. It's needed and they definitely want it. I've seen black charter schools open and close. I mean, closed due to funding, other reasons. But they were full. They were full and had waiting lists. So we're hungry. We're hungry for that.
That's a fact, man. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right, man. Sidebar before I get out of here, man. Q Butter love fucking what did I take Q Butter? Buckhannon, DB Todd and Buckhannon. Like black people hate that corner, but Q Butter said, "Oh shit, man, this shit look like New York, man." It was crackheads and motorcycles, and I'm like, "Yeah, Q, like it's walking distance from my house, man." So
we was in the garrison, boy. We was in the gutter.
Yeah, I tell my brother all the time. I tell people that story all the time. I'm like, man, I brought Q Butter to this same store / liquor store, and he loved it, man. It was just one of those days, Cola, where the motorcycle guy, the old heads on the motorcycles was out. It was dope, bro. And it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, but it looked like it was 7 at night. That's how crunk it was, man. You feel me? And you gotta love that shit, man. So salute to this brother. Like I said, I'm gonna bring him back, man. Next week we're here, man. Listen, hit the like button, share button, subscribe button, man. Next week we'll be here. YouTube show is coming. I don't know, man. Stay tuned, man. Look, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to where you get all the notifications, man. And because I'm gonna do a YouTube show sometime this week. It may be Friday, maybe Saturday, but we're gonna do it. Salute. Like I always tell y'all, man. Listen, no, before I even say that, Cola, how can the people get in touch with you, sis?
I'll just shoot me an email, www.ke_Ellis@yahoo.com. Also, you can catch me on YouTube. Go to that same link. And that's pretty much it.
My sister Cola, man. And listen, man, look, I'm gonna leave y'all. I hate to leave y'all, but I love you, man. Listen, if no one has told you today that they love you, let me be the first one to say that I love you. I love you. I love you. Peace, Black Power, and until next week, man, hold your own, man. Peace.
Peace.